Alright, everybody. Hello and welcome to SunnyRedemption Sailing, your bi-weekly voyage for BS3 gaming news. Who are we voting on this time? Like in terms
For
of...
voyage?
Yeah.
I'm good with whatever. I mean, I have my preferences for sure. Like, I've been definitely, the past few times we've played, I've been really just wanting to do something zen, like a fishing voyage. But if you want to do something more engaging, I'm up for that too.
I'll let you decide. Because
Okay.
I just
Why
have
don't we
been...
start with some fishing then?
Sounds good. I have been so Emerald Rush pilled of late that in an attempt to jump, I pressed B on the controller. Because I've been pressing A on a Nintendo controller so much. Holy shit. Like, I've just been banging my head against the wall at what I think is the top difficulty level for DK Island. But man, it gets tight with the timing sometimes, and the RNG can be a little bit annoying. However, it's the only game that I've been playing for the past week while I've been recovering from the reason why I haven't done a lot of content lately. But anyway, you were saying? Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say I put down a voyage, and you voted for it. Cool.
Yeah.
We can emissary if you want. There are some reapers on the map, but they're way north of us, so.
I'll take the risk. We can always run. And
yeah.
This time, if we abandon a place, we're abandoning a place. Because last time we got murdered for by coming back, which I guess they knew. That was very clever of them. But anyway.
Yep.
So, more on that. How to even describe? Like, okay. I have just been creating strats all over the place. Like, creating shortcuts with terrain smashing. And doing it largely without bonanzas. Like, I've gotten so close. Like 12 out of 15 rounds close. Just the quotas are really, really high for this. And it exposes some really interesting aspects of DK Bonanza's design that I didn't really get into in the main game. Like, just how goated the Zebra Bonanza is, especially with the golden, or excuse me, emerald upgrade of that you can get of charging, like super fast. That should have been the speed that it had in the main game. Is all I'm gonna say, because it just feels like the world flies around you rather than, yeah. Anyway, the thing is that, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I still have not bought that DLC just because I still have post-game stuff to do in that game. But I'm sure I will eventually, especially with how much you're enjoying it.
Yeah, the problem for me is that things that I could kind of excuse about DK Bonanza's semi-heavy gameplay, a lot less heavy than, say, Donkey Country Tropical Freeze, but still, it can be a little bit frustrating when you have such precise timing, because before I didn't have to worry about that. Like oftentimes I'll jump and then hand clap and then roll in midair. You know, very Mario Odyssey of me. But that is carried over from a moveset. And I wonder why rolling into a cliff edge bonks you and then sends you flying back quite a bit instead of latching onto the wall. It kind of makes sense in general how the physics work, but that can be really, really annoying when you're going down a cliff face and then have to climb all the way back up with like 10 seconds left to get thousands of... And also just the general problems that surface with me in roguelikes have resurfaced with this one, that being me forgetting like what upgrades I've actually unlocked and then going on strats from like past runs. So they've definitely blurred together in a very enjoyable way, but it also feels a little bit more exploitative than the main game in terms of just, again, like I said last time, the seasonal statues are a thing now. But, well, pro tip, those statues are excellent because they're indestructible and you can turf surf and surf on them, as well as smash enemies with them. So that has been really great. Let's see. I'm gonna help out with actual fishing now. let's see then. So how about you? What have you been playing?
A lot of the same. So, past couple days. Well, today mostly. This morning when it launched, the official like season 1 of Skate started, and they've put some big updates into it. So, played a couple hours of that. Finished an RPG. I won't go too long about this, but a 360 RPG called Infinite Undiscovery. I've been plugging away.
Oh right, yeah, you did tell me about that.
Month. Yeah, so I finished that. It was a pretty like, I knew it was a fairly short RPG.
Oops, I lost the fish.
In.
Oh well.
So I knew it was pretty short. It took about 20 hours in the end, and I didn't end up doing like everything in it, but I felt satisfied. It's like, it's okay. It was okay. I'm glad I went through it, but I probably will just never, it's not one I think I'll ever go back to. It was a very, like, it has a lot of interesting ideas, but they're incredibly hot-baked. And that reading about the game's development is like, oh, this game was super incredibly rushed. And you can very much tell once they start recycling the bosses and a lot of the half-baked conversation mechanics. There's like a mechanic where you have party members follow you through the towns and stuff, and doing that can trigger different like scenes and even different side quests, but it's all very, very like unexplained and bare bones. So I kind of like, at some point I just like looked up a guide and I was like, all right, what are the side quests I should actually do that'll be beneficial for me? So I did a few of those, but yeah, it was okay. It was the kind of game you could just very much, like, aside from the cutscenes, just really just, multitask while you're playing.
Ouch.
Not very difficult. I think I had 1 or 2 bosses that had some challenge to them, but very, very much an autopilot RPG, action RPG.
So very simple. Wow.
Yeah, goodness. Yeah, it's a very, very, like bare bones, I think is the best way to describe it, because honestly, the story ended up being the strong point for me, though. Once you get past like the really, really bad voice acting, and this was a game that was done by Tri-Ace, who does the Star Ocean games, so I really wanted to just see,
yeah.
Yeah, and it was also, it was like
still poking away at that, by the way, where I can, other than the fact that I haven't been able to play much of anything other than Bonanza because of this fucking medical brace. So, for those who don't know on the internet, I have 2 sides to my autism. One can go on for 5 fucking hours about history and Washington D.C. and Nazis, and Jimmy Kimmel and Charlie Kirk and all of that jazz, which was our most viewed episode, by the way, at 961 views so far and climbing. Because it was a crossover episode with SunnyRedemption Sailing between that and History Flights. But anyway, then like a couple days after I finished uploading and felt very triumphant and was about to start research for my script that was planned to be for today, until you said that this was the only day that you were available, about the whole Gaza situation. 2 years on from October 7th. But I've decided to delay that, and that was probably for the best. But basically what happened is I had a problem with opening a carton of pineapple juice that I had originally gotten for to make a sweet sugary teriyaki sauce for my with some acid for some wings that I was planning on making. But then I couldn't open it. And so, for some reason, this is the side B of my autism, decided to get a huge-ass knife, put it in my non-dominant hand, and hold down the carton with my right hand at the very top. And then I was slicing, or like poking the thing, and it slipped and glanced off my right pointer finger, and then carved about half an inch into my subcutaneous layer. In my middle finger, which is incredibly painful still, but a lot less so than it was like even yesterday. Like I haven't had to take Advil for it or Tylenol. I've topped up my autism with that though.
Sorry to interrupt. I did put down
Oh.
a voyage.
Oh yeah, no. My bad. But yeah, let's sail the quest because we have stuff. Anyway, so yeah, that's just been that. I haven't gone in to try skate since our thing started. And a part of the other problem was that I had this all hooked up is somewhere else and can't get my monitor to play nice with it. So tonight after we stream, I'm gonna put it back on the TV where it belongs and maybe take my Series S from my parents' house. They don't really use it much anyway, as a travel/streaming console for this kind of thing. But anyway, so I think we gotta get to one of the two big elephants in the room. Yeah, getting bought by Saudi Arabia.
That's I don't think there's anything positive about that one I can think of at this point. Like
that's before you get to Jared Kushner's role in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the guy got literally $2 freaking billion for doing nothing. I would love to get paid $2 billion right now, but my fellow federales are shut down. Fortunately, we at CFPB have an alternative source of funding, even if our Christmas card from the Federal Reserve was cut in half. So I'm just here, still technically have a job, but it's incredibly weird right now in Washington, D.C. At least the National Guard is a little bit less. But anyway, it's actually a consortium of him, some other private investors, and then the what's it called again? The investment fund from Saudi Arabia, but I'm just looking up the exact name.
I think that's what
not
it's
fun.
called. At least that's what I always hear it called. Maybe that's an informal
The
name.
Public Investment Fund is what it's called, and
Yeah.
they have blown
Yeah.
billions of dead, melted down dinosaur money, because that's what petroleum is, into oh, whoa, okay, we got a skeleton ship. Hopefully it'll leave us alone.
I'm hoping, yeah, we're close to an island. I'm hoping it won't aggro
Yeah.
us.
But they've wasted money on things like Neom, which after years of hype, and the line being an entire city being on a line, which causes all sorts of problems if the one train that takes you to work has a breakdown, for instance, that gets you across the entire city. Basically, they've dug a hole in the ground and displaced, paid off some, but not a lot.
They're firing on us.
Okay, well, not very well. So, yeah, I'll just load it up with cannonballs and see if it gets anywhere near us while we,
Alright.
do that. Well, while you fish, perhaps. I don't want to, like,
That's gonna
get...
hit us. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, that was
very
just
close.
a bit... It definitely
Alright.
could have looked closer from your angle, but anyway.
It looks like... Okay.
So, the
We'll see
tribe...
if it comes around this side, and if it does, we can start firing.
This is... So, Saudi Arabia, forced off the nomadic, Bedouin... Well, hang on, no. Yes, Bedouin people, off their land in order to dig a hole in the ground for the rich. So that's the kind of country you're dealing with. Before you get to the part which Mark Maron really tore into comedians who sold out for the Riyadh Comedy Festival that's taking place very soon.
I think it already did.
Oh yeah, it already did. Never mind. Lots of things happening lately. But anyway, yeah, it was just like, wow. Basically, two things. One, this is a country that chainsawed a journalist into pieces and put his body parts in a suitcase after luring him into the Saudi embassy in Istanbul under false pretenses. Just because he wrote an article critical of several articles while in exile, critical of the regime. Even a comedian who defended their slavery practices, just by mentioning the word slavery, got kicked out of the Riyadh festival. I'm hoping that some of the comedians there... It doesn't seem like it, though. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like it. Actually did the right thing and stood
I'm
up.
definitely, like, I'm definitely disappointed in a few of them that are on that lineup. I'm like, oh, come on, guys. You really should know better.
And they've already got in their bag, like, several times over. Why do you need to keep grinding? Let's see, Riyadh Comedy Festival
the
comedians.
paycheck must have been pretty good.
It was between $150,000 and for the lower level comedians, and then like 1.4 million. This is the thing about Saudi Arabia. The House of Saud are culture vultures who literally made bank before they did oil money off the fact that they monopolized one of the largest holy sites in the world, and we're fucking rent seekers. So you know what? They are a match made in heaven with EA. That I hope they have a long and happy private equity relationship together, because otherwise people will get laid off. But it seems likely that EA is going to get chopped up and sold to pieces.
Yeah, I just hope the pieces that I care about land somewhere good. Like, mostly BioWare, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I guess at this point, the skate team, Full Circle, is their studio name. Like,
yeah.
That's all I care about.
Well, is it the same BioWare, though, really? Because I was just reading or watching... can you not shoot at us, please? Oh, I'm trying to think! Okay. Let me help with the anchor, sorry.
I got it.
Okay, well, let me know if there's any other repairs, but otherwise... like, people have moved on by now, and...
I still want to give them one last shot at Mass Effect. That's the thing that, like...
Yeah,
if they can get another Mass Effect out the door, I'm... by, like, 2030 at this point, like, that's what I care about.
And I want to get into the Veilguard more, because, this probably feels like the last time that, at least for a while, that gender identity will be relevant in or will be mentioned in a BioWare game, in a prominent capacity.
I do wonder how hands-on they will be, though, because...
Probably not a lot.
The only thing they've been hands-on with anything that they've really bought that I'm aware of is with...
Oh, wow! I nailed it! Did you see that?
Nice.
Anyway.
No, I was fishing. With SNK, we're literally like one of the Crown Prince's a specific soccer player in the new Garu Mark of the Wolves game. And so, like, you know, if it's something like that, that's less objectionable to me than, like, actual, like, cultural censorship like that.
Yeah, well, again, I'm thinking that, like, the most profitable from a bean counter perspective studios are going to stay. Like the Battlefields, your EA football clubs, you know, things that print money.
I mean, yeah, like the Maddens and the Ultimate Teams are what they're really after. Those are the ones that are generating revenue year after year, no matter the quality of the actual, like, product that's put out.
Yeah, like, you know, apparently Madden 26 is just
Madden
atrocious.
Games, yeah, the worst Madden games still have, like, you know, the same community of Ultimate Team players who pour, you know...
That's what I found a new rowboat
into it a year. Nice.
Yeah.
So, that's what they're buying this for, not for the BioWares and stuff like that, you know?
And you'd hope that a new owner would care about reviving some of those old IPs. Like, I'd love to see a AAA Jade Empire sequel or soft reboot with controls that actually make sense in a modern context. I'm sorry, I've really tried to get into that game. I just couldn't with the controls being terrible. It's an original Xbox game. It's gonna be clunky because they were figuring that stuff out. Let me just push the rowboat again. I don't know why I can't push it out into the ocean, but...
We already have a cannon rowboat on here.
Well, I have some loot on it, so at least want to bring it over to the ship. There we go. That feels a little bit more...
Oh yeah, I sunk the ship. Alright, I'm gonna bring our ship over to that ship.
Okay, well... not before, if you please, I bring this over and put the stuff that's on there on it. This is really concerning for me because it just feels like gaming is something I don't recognize. This is a long way from the EA Games Challenge Everything logo that burned into my brain when I booted up Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on PC for the first time. Or the Battlefield of like Battlefield friends, you know? As much as Battlefield 6 does seem like a return to form, there was just something about 360 era EA that could often be very intriguing and like different. I don't know. Of course that was when
they were at least trying things in that generation, and like, you know, they went back to the Dead Space well and abandoned that. So like, and it's been almost a decade since Mirror's Edge. Those were the two big experiments.
Oh, Catalyst was such a
2008.
waste of potential. I would love to get my hands on that IP.
So I mean, like, as far as like risk taking, or not even necessarily risk taking, but just going back to the well for something that they haven't done in a while, like, they do have the new skate, and like, it seems like it's somewhat successful, at least based on, it has a lot of players. They've gotten 15 million people to at least boot it up, which is pretty impressive. Now, you know, I don't know what their, you know, revenue per person goals are for that, or if they're meeting that, but so far it seems like that game's not like a failure, at least in the early stages. So I wonder, like, what are their long-term goals for that and stuff, like, because it's not this kind of game, like, they've already pretty much said they have at least 4 seasons planned out.
Well,
so if they're just starting season 1, they're not going to shut the thing down in a matter of a year.
Right, okay, yeah. I mean, that makes me feel a little bit better about that, at least, since what I tried with you was really quite fun, even if as very corporate,
and
at least so far.
Actually, so, yeah, the story, they said they're working on it. In the post they put out for playtesters today, which I don't think is private information or anything, it's just something in the playtest blog. They said, like, hey, we're aware of, you know, story criticisms, we've already tightened up some of them in the update that put out today, and we're gonna work on making it better. So, you know, and the lighting patch that they did on the update today was a huge thing for me. It looks so much better lighting wise. It looks like, it still looks, the actual like aesthetics and design of the city still look pretty sterile, but the lighting goes a long way to lessen that. Like, it looks a lot more like lived in, just by like upgrading the lighting. Just, you know, because the lighting before was very like evenly lit, and it felt like a doctor's, you know, office or something. I don't know, that's the best way to describe it. And now it actually feels like, okay, there's contrast to the lighting.
Ah, so, well, that's cool.
That's a, like, if that's the kind of feedback that they're taking to heart and that they're improving on, like if they can keep in that direction, at least, I have some faith that they'll kind of keep moving forward, because technically the game still is in early access, although I think that is a bit of a cop-out, because they are selling plenty of cosmetics for it. So, like, hey, if you're selling things for real money, that's the point where I think you're open to whatever criticism.
Yeah, looking at the list here for a minute, I doubt that places like PopCap or PopCap or Respawn or Criterion or Maxis are in danger. It's more like support studios that I'm worried about. Things like EA Redwood or Playdemic or Pogo Studios, which apparently they acquired in 2001 and still exists as a free online gaming website. So it's like, well,
yeah, I didn't
but
know
I could see that. I could see them burning that down in a fire sale, though. Like, and speaking of fire sales, oh my God, well, the dumpster fire in the room is the Game Pass subscription bump.
Oh, yeah.
It just before I was about to get the points I would have needed to get a free month. As I mentioned to you, I think that it seems like the increase is actually happening on November 4th. So places like GameStop were a little cheeky and basically discounted the price back down to the original of $20, and I got 3 of them. So, I mean, that's a whole year or no, a quarter of a year for $60 to access the Outer Worlds 2, Frostpunk 2, Call of Duty, and finally maybe tackle Age of Empires Mythology. Those are the games that I'm really going to try and like focus on, since I actually have a time limit now instead of just like lollygagging forever with 3 years for $1 or whatever. At least you're set.
Yeah, like it's not a like I understand people being mad, especially people who've been paying month to month, but like, and I don't usually pay like I know a lot of subscription services have been offering yearly plans for a while. Like I don't do that with any of the like video streaming services because I only keep like one at a time. But when it comes to Game Pass, I was like, well, if I'm going to be playing some of these games long term, you know, as soon as those 3-year deals started happening, they'd let you stack Game Pass for 3 years around when Sea of Thieves came out. I was like, well, I'll just get 3 years and reevaluate every 3 years. So that's what I've been doing, and the last time I did that was end of 2024, so I'm good till end of 2027, basically.
I'm up through January 19th, 2026. I will assess at that time.
Yeah, like, I could definitely see myself canceling after that, but maybe some of the value adds will actually be worth it. Like, so far the Ubisoft Plus stuff hasn't really been that great. Like, the one game I'll probably play off that is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And
right,
Avatar,
yeah.
once that gets added.
Avatar could be fun in co-op.
Yeah, the frustrating thing with that, though, is, like, I wish it was, like, the full Ubisoft Plus, like, the one that gets day one games. Like,
right.
It's annoying to have, like, a sub-tier, like, you know, it's like a tier of a subscription service nested in a tier of an already existing subscription service. So it's a little annoying. But, you know, so that doesn't really, like, the Ubisoft Plus stuff hasn't really, like, if that's the only value add and it's not, like, that much more interesting in 2 years, that won't really keep me there. The one thing that is an unknown for me, how much I'll actually use it, is the Fortnite stuff, because I do play Fortnite Festival.
Right,
and
you do.
Getting the 1,000 V-Bucks per month or whatever.
Oh, really?
Like, that's like 2 free songs, so that's not nothing.
Yeah, I might.
And getting the premium music pass gets you more songs if you actually play the game.
Right,
and cosmetics
as much
stuff.
as you do.
Yeah,
that's very worth it.
I don't play Festival that much, honestly. Like, only, like, I played it when there was the Gorillaz collab last month. You know, I only bought 1 song from that in the end, because $5 per song is much more than the $2 that I'm used to in Rock Band.
Oh boy.
So like, but the 2 free songs plus more through the getting the passes for free, that is actually a pretty nice value add, and would probably make me play Fortnite Festival more.
I'll give it a bash since I have it now.
Yeah, like, I think it starts in November.
Well, I mean, yeah, because that's when the new price increase happens.
Yeah.
Though they did put up the fucking annoying full screen ad when I booted up my console today. The commodification of everything is the problem, because it's like, what I would really like is a la carte option where it's like, I would like EA for $5. I would like, but that's not how it works. Because
I can see them doing that, like, at some point, because that's where a lot of the streaming services have been going. Like, when I go into, like, Amazon or Disney Plus or whatever, it's like, here's an add-on for this other streaming service. So I think there's definitely at least a possibility that could be what they do at some point, but I don't know. Like, maybe not in the next year, but at some point down the line. Oh, I put down a Voyage, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah, sounds good. All right, let's do it.
So if they did that, that would be great. I think that would, if that was what they were doing now, I would be like, okay, that makes sense. Like, if they did like a nominal price increase and kind of introduced more of a, like, per, you know, like, more Alstom, I don't think they would be getting nearly the backlash they are now. The problem is they're basically doubling the price and not giving nearly enough value in most people's eyes to justify that.
Well, it seems like the business calculation is very, very strong here, because basically hardware sales are flat. That's why the price is going up, because if you want to increase hardware revenue while sales are flat, you have to increase the price. That is the anodyne straightforward business logic of a unit that is trying to make money after $70 billion, plus of spending spree. I really wish they had stopped with Bethesda, because then they wouldn't feel like they. Because I read recently that when they were denying rumors that they were canceling the next gen of hardware because people are that fucking freaked out. It's that they thought, oh well, now we gotta increase the price. But I thought that would mean that like Game Pass would be more attractive at its current price for people who are paying close to handheld PC prices now for a console. Yeah. And then they increased that too.
Like, I really, like, if I didn't have a Series X at this point, like, and I saw that price increase, I'd be like, well, I'm just gonna, like, if I'm already 5 years into a console generation and haven't upgraded, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna wait till whatever's next at this point.
Yeah, and I might hold fire for a few years, but it seems like what happened is they crunched the numbers and they figured that they could do this one increase with an expected amount of churn for people, basically for the people who thought that they could ride $1 forever. And
that grade of training was never going to last forever. I was never expecting that. Like, I think the last 3-year re-up was like 240 or something for me, and I was like, well, that's getting a little pricey, but it's still worth it to me. And like, I don't know, you just have to have realistic expectations, because we all know what happens with these streaming services over time. The price goes up. That's been universal for every single streaming service that's ever existed.
The Uberification of everything, because I remember when that launched, and it was impossibly good. Like, being able to demand a ride anywhere and not have to wait around for a taxi, because like there were no apps for that. They actually did solve a problem for people, and so people naturally created a natural monopoly for that, because that's basically the product was just that good and nobody else could really compete except for Lyft a little bit, which is what I use when I have to ride share, due to Uber being evil. But it's not that much better. Because this kind of market where you capture market share preemptively with insanely low prices and then squeeze people later is fucking predatory, and it needs to stop.
I'm pretty sure I talked about this back in 2018 when we were getting these ridiculous deals on Game Pass. I probably said out loud at some point, like, it's gonna go up in a alarming way at some point, but for now, it's it's a great deal.
Here's the next fishing spot, by the way.
Yep.
Okay.
And,
anyway,
like, I just think that just has to be a decision you make. Like, that just, not that I'm like against people complaining about it and stuff. Obviously, make your voices heard and be loud about it. But like, I'm just like, you look at the price there. It's, it's capitalism ultimately. It sucks. So it's like, you look at the price and what they're offering you, and if you don't feel like it's worth it, don't pay it.
The late stage piece of it. Sorry.
I think it, like, if I do cancel my Game Pass, obviously there's stuff like I still have not bought like the game we're playing right now, Sea of Thieves. I've been playing just that through Game Pass.
Oh yeah, right.
The upside of that is, hey, now it'll by the time my Game Pass has lapsed, it'll be a 9-year-old game, and I could probably get it for like $10 to $15 if I really wanted to buy it outright. Which
like on a disc or something, just to have that for that cheap.
Digitally, I've seen it go on sale for like 15 or 20 digitally, and it'll probably get cheaper by the 9-year mark.
I have the opposite of that. I bought 2 discs of Sea of Thieves at launch, despite having Game Pass, because I thought that I would keep it forever. And then the first opportunity with the Game Pass discount, I bought that digitally outright. So basically what I'm gonna do, if I can't find a good deal through a third-party site for Ultimate, like for $20 or so, which will definitely be an undercut. Like, I managed to get 3 months for $23 one time, and I don't think that'll be much of a thing for long. But, we'll see what's legit and stuff. Then I can downgrade to what I guess is now called Essential and used to be Core and was Gold at one point.
I like the current tiering structure that they've landed on, I at least like more than when they rebranded the core.
Yeah,
Like,
that
when
was
they got rid
weird.
of Gold and rebranded the core, I did not like it. It was such a weird, like, I kind of actually prefer this 3-tiered system over just like 2 tiers where like one of them is, you know, basically just what Gold used to be with some games. But
Now
not
there's
the
more
full
games.
library.
50
Yeah,
at
so-
least.
Yeah, so now it's like, okay, I don't know, like, I don't know if I do end up, like, downgrading a tier in 2 years, we'll see what that looks like, but, like, I don't know, I'm kind of all or nothing on this, where, like, if I'm gonna be paying for a subscription, I want, like, the free games and all the good stuff. Or, like, the day one games especially. That's a pretty big thing for me.
Again, we'll see what their first party output is like for the next few months
Yeah,
for
exactly.
me.
Like, if they have something huge in the chamber, like, I'm sure they're gonna have a decent first-party lineup in between now and the end of 2027. Like, they'll have some good stuff. Obviously, we know about Horizon 6. That's the big one that we know about.
And then hopefully Fable.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
You would really hope Fable's out by the end of 2027.
Because it's like if they canceled that, then it's like, what the fuck are they even doing with some of their older of their franchises? Because not everything has to be such a big, expensive thing. A lot of this was made in a pivot reaction to the success of Horizon Zero Dawn, and Phil Spencer just pointing and saying, "I want that," and we'll cancel the original plan and change it to a more recognizable name. And then it's just been weird for Playground games since.
Down.
Oh, yeah, I figured as much. Let me just. Sometimes it's really fiddly. But anyway.
Yeah,
So
I don't know, like, I don't really, because I'm still on it on Game Pass for another 2 years, I can't really get myself too worked up about it. I'm just like, well, you know, I'll worry about that in 2 years.
yeah.
Just make a decision about it. I, like, you know, when Netflix raised their prices pretty high, I was on Netflix for a few years, you know, like when it was like $6 or $7 a month for, you know, a decent plan on there. And then, like, one day they upped it to like 15, and I was just like, absolutely not. So, like, I've rarely been subscribed to Netflix since then, because I'm just like, I don't feel like that price justifies it, and so, you know, I'm an adult with my own capacity to make a decision, and I just decided I'm not going to be, like, consistently subscribed to Netflix. I'll just go to a cheaper service, and, you know, that's just my personal decision that I've made about video streaming, is like, I'm just going to juggle one at a time.
The problem is that there's a lot of enshittification of design across the web in an attempt to force particular consumer outcomes. Like, I caved and got YouTube Premium because there were so many fucking ads.
Oh yeah, YouTube Premium's the exception for me. I've had YouTube Premium since, like, since I had a job, basically, which was like, you know, it's been like 15 years at this point.
Pretty much everything else except for Apple TV I share with family.
I didn't even consider YouTube Premium as a subscription that I pay for, because it's just like, I've been paying for it for so long, and I'm just on a family plan where, you know, I have my family and friends pay me every now and again.
Yeah, I don't think that'll last for long in a lot of the economy, just because they really are trying to crack down on this stuff, but that will lead to an expected amount of churn and just a loss of human touch, I feel like, because we were talking about the $26 waters in fucking Las Vegas, where rewards are now doled out by machine based on tracked digital spending rather than a person being like, oh, hey, I noticed you've really been a high roller, want a free drink? You know, like, there just seems to be a pull at Microsoft right now being cast, because with thousands of people laid off and all this money being thrown at super super autocorrect to replace humans, another freaking rowboat. Well, that's our lucky day for finding random rowboats, I guess. 3 in a row. Okay, well.
Is that is that not the same one you had before? It might be, because this is an island we were at before.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
the game keeps sending us back and forth between these two islands. I
haven't really been paying attention.
That are near each other, so I'm just like, whatever. We're getting easy fish.
Yeah, like the at least for Game Pass, the lower tiers are getting more, because the kinds of people who would subscribe to those lower tiers on a consistent basis are more price sensitive, probably. Like my sister's new husband just plays gold, and that's it. Like a year of the Game Pass essential. It feels so weird to say is going to be enough for him, but again, it's the log rolling of so many things that many people might not want in an attempt to artificially inflate the value. That is the problem. Since I probably won't play Fortnite all that much, and you're right, the Ubisoft Classics tier sucks. The thing is that that's the cheapest thing that they could do to actually include it without. Because remember when? Sorry.
They get a bunch of free games, you know, like they get a bunch of like, oh, we added 50 or something new games, Game Pass. It's like, you look through it and it's like, well, for me, because I've been on Xbox Live Gold for nearly 20 years, a lot of those are Assassin's Creed games that I already have through Gold.
I was just about to say, I have most of the series through Gold.
I literally look through, and even the non-Assassin's Creed games, I'm just like looking through, like, yeah, Ubisoft always had games on games with Gold, so.
Or just on sale for ridiculous cheap.
Yeah, a lot of those games, like, I have, and for some reason I didn't have the other game that I did try was the remaster of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. That they put out a while back. I was like, because I played the original, you know, back in the day. I was like, well, I have access to this now. Let me play it. So I played about an hour of that, and I was like, yep, this is fun. But I don't think I'm gonna actually play through the whole thing because it was a fun, unique one-time experience. I don't necessarily need to play a Far Cry game again, like that particular one.
If they were going to include like some more of the Xbox 360 or any of the Xbox 360 or original Xbox catalog that is on backwards compatibility in Ubisoft Plus, that would be more worth it. But yeah, again, this just feels like the Ubisoft Plus at home, and even Ubisoft Plus regular. I haven't really played much.
It's the low tier. It's the classics collection. It's not the like new stuff, which would actually be exciting. Because that's the cool thing about the EA stuff is like, you know, they don't add their stuff day one, but they at least have the trials, which are cool.
Yeah, that's probably how I'll milk Battlefield 6, as I mentioned before. We shall see, though, because a lot of those trials have been getting less generous, like 2 hours, if that, or just not including a trial.
Is the Battlefield 6 one going to be 10 hours, or do you know how much that is?
Let me see, actually, because I do not know. I assume so because it's a multiplayer game.
Yeah, I was going kind of just based on older Battlefields like that I did do the 10-hour trial for, but I didn't actually know what this one is doing. Because I do want to try it out, but I also, like, don't really have money in my gaming budget this month for another, you know, $70 game, so.
Yeah, like at least Call of Duty will be on Game Pass, but now they're also, like really restricting a lot of the benefits that you could get. Like a lot of people who subscribe probably liked the getting Call of Duty points discount, and so there's no discount on that or the DLC at all, which was one of the draws.
The DLC stuff, like that was one of the cooler things about Game Pass. Is like, well, I have this game, you know, for free with an asterisk, and then if I want the DLC, I at least can get it at a slight discount, which was nice. And that's just one of those things. Is like, oh, I'm definitely gonna miss that one.
And like, are they gonna bother giving people a free copy of Forza Horizon 5 when that gets delisted? If you got the DLC through Game Pass? I mean, I would hope so, but who knows? Who fucking knows with Microsoft anymore? And linakhan was like, I kind of told you so. And you know what? I owe her an apology because okay. My mindset at the time of the Rise of the Tomb Raider controversy, which I've opined on before, but I'm gonna re-summarize for people who don't know, was people getting mad at Microsoft for money hatting, meaning just buying timed exclusivity for Rise of the Tomb Raider. But the game would not have happened at all based on Square Enix's ridiculous projections for sales of the first reboot game when people had been cool to the series for a minute, and it got good word of mouth, but like, just not the astronomical sales they were expecting. So they weren't going to commission a sequel until Microsoft funded the development and co-funded the development and took over practically all the marketing, including, you know, bundling with consoles and stuff. I got gifted that by my friend Emily a long time ago, and it felt really special to have that game for Xbox. But then it eventually came to PS4 with all the DLC included, and probably a lot more optimized too because of the power of the PS4 compared to the Xbox One. It's just like that. Basically, at the time, I was like, "Yay! We finally have a game that is buzzy, that isn't Forza or Gears." You know, because for a while, first party's fall really was like Forza, Halo, or Gears. You know, that kind of thing. And then I don't even know anymore what's happening to gaming. But like, okay, so the annoying thing was getting bullied for an entire generation by PS4 fanboys who were like, Xbox has no games, Xbox has no games. So I was like, but they're working on that, you know, and I was clinging to every little piece of hope that I could find that some obscure project was gonna come in from the shadows and you know, make Xbox exciting again, because for a while it wasn't. It was very dry in 2017, for instance, other than PUBG. And for 2018, yeah, it just was very dry, except for Sea of Thieves for me. And Crackdown 3 was okay, and it's like...
That was also Forza Horizon 4.
Oh yeah, Forza Horizon 4, that was great. But not as... I guess it's just not as interesting as even Forza Horizon 3 was, let alone 2. Because, like, the problem with the Forza Horizon series and Microsoft in general is, oh, we have to have this new trend here. So Battle Royale with cars and this and that and the other thing. Forza Horizon 2 actually had, like, soul. You felt like you were actually going on a European vacation. I still have my breath taken away by some of the rain effects from last generation, I might add. Because that's what happens when you're able to optimize for hardware. So I was like, okay, with the Activision thing, you know, put whatever with Call of Duty. You know, it's gonna be multi-platform. They're not gonna want to lose but like the single player stuff that funds, you know, your Crash Bandicoots and Singularities and other franchises that have been neglected by Activision over the years. They have like so many franchises that I bet developers would love to tackle, but no, just sitting on a shelf. Basically, in terms of RTSs, other than Age of Empires and related, it's been dry. It's been a great like couple generations for that series, but again, where's the Rise of Nations and stuff? If there was some great way to emulate Windows XP and play my games that way, that'd be one thing. But a lot of times these physical games were locked down with DRM. When you feel like you have control of the market, you get lazy. And that's what happened with Microsoft. Is they're going to be leaning in on the Call of Duty treadmill again. No developers are going to be freed from the mines because this has to come out every year and it has to make $1 billion. And it's like, fuck you, honestly, because
and that's the thing is, like, when they initially did buy Activision, there was some hope. Like, I was definitely like hoping, like, oh, developers like Toys for Bob can go back to the stuff that they were doing throughout the 2010s that was pretty successful and interesting. But then it's like, oh no, we're just gonna let go of them. They can go off and do their own thing. Just like weird decisions like that, where it's like, why would you not take this like acclaimed developer? I mean, same thing with you know, the everything, like with the Japanese development and stuff with Tango, where it's you have a great Japanese developer who just put out this insanely great game that you know, basically has a sequel hook written into the end of it. And clearly they want to make a sequel, and the sequel will probably be somehow even better. And they just don't see that. They just didn't see, like, you know, beyond the quarterly returns, I guess.
Well, this speaking of Japan, this whole Game Pass imbroglio has also buried their Tokyo Game Show showing, which I don't even remember anything that they were doing for that, so I'm trying to look it up.
I mean, there was Forza Horizon 6. There was
other
a bunch
than that,
of, like,
yeah,
Japanese stuff. Actually, one of those games that was showcased, I actually just bought yesterday.
huh?
Romancing Saga 2, the remake that came out on PS4 last year. That was shadow dropped for Xbox at TGS, and it's great so far. I actually played the demo a couple hours, and I was sold on it because it's one of those demos where you can transfer everything to the full game. And I finished the demo, and I went up, and I'm like, oh, it still has a launch discount for the next 2 days, so I got it for $35.
Cool.
I also already had like $20 in rewards points.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, hey, as soon as I finish Infinite Undiscovery, on to the next JRPG.
So, I was actually reading, yeah, and well, I just did this. I just recorded the honeymoon video in Microsoft Flight Simulator for my sister, because she's going to Japan on Saturday, the same day, but not at the same time as I'm going to eswatini for a week. I'll get to that more later, but like the Japan World update, I didn't really play more than a few minutes of because it was mostly about the history of the wedding location and other such things. But oh yeah, I think I have fish in here somewhere.
Oh, we still have fish to sell? Okay.
Just the one.
Okay.
But then
By
they
the
keep
way,
hearing
real quick,
ominous music.
Once you sell that, sorry, yeah, there's a skeleton chip out there. I was going to say.
I was like, why are we
like
hearing evil music? That was what distracted me.
Grade 5 emissary. We don't. Oh, now they're firing on us. Sorry.
Of course they are. I just
I'll
sold it
just start
raw
shooting.
to focus on the shooting. Okay.
All right.
Well,
Oh,
since
cannonballs.
I'm feeling pretty cheeky, I think I'm also gonna swim over there and troll them with some fire bombs. But yeah, it looks pretty. The world update for Japan in Microsoft Flight Simulator looks pretty great. Is my summary of that.
The trailer looked great. I didn't look at any of
They
the
have
actual, like, gameplay.
They have the best. They have the best trailers, honestly. The trailer music I would have bought, like singles individually, for some of these. I forget who actually composed them, but now the ship's just like going around the entire island, I guess. Until they get back to us.
If we want, we can chase it down, because I was gonna probably wrap up soonish anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
We hit grade 5, and oh, I found another piece. Oh, there's a couple more pieces of treasure actually. I'll just sell those real quick. They were hidden.
Somehow they decided to shoot at us across the island. And nearly hit us! Holy shit!
I know. Yeah, that was closer than I thought it would be.
Oh boy. Well,
I've got one more piece of treasure to sell, and maybe we can chase them down.
yeah, let's do it. Then we can sell the
2
wrap.
more. Yeah.
Let's see. It doesn't seem like there's anything else in the barrels or anything like that, so... Yeah,
There's
let's...
just one more skull up top where the harpoons are.
Oh, right, I keep forgetting. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay. I got it.
Because I usually do like to put as much treasure as I can in the hold to at least hide it from view, but in any case, I'll put that. This is suspenseful music while we're being very much not in suspense.
Yeah.
Really did throw me for a
Alright.
loop there.
We can chase down that skeleton ship.
But yeah, it's just like
where is it?
Microsoft actually has a really solid first party for the first time in a while, and like nobody cares because of the stupid drama that constantly shoots themselves in the foot. Like, you want to do all these things, right? I'm just gonna drop this in the ocean. Oh,
That stuff we have to give to the Smugglers League.
yeah, that's fine. I'll just throw it overboard. Who cares?
Alright. Here we go.
Alright, gonna fire real soon. That's probably gonna miss. Because I aimed too high.
We're pretty close if you want to get some shots in. No?
Yeah, I'm trying to... the thing is that the angle's not great.
I know, I'm trying to turn, but they
There we
turn
go.
to... Here we go. There you go.
Alright, time to hammer them.
Yeah.
Skeleton ship slammer. That, you know what? That's what I wanted to ask you about. Is like, where the heck does the term banana slammer come from? It's like it's.
Slammer. Want to say Donkey Kong 64.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
In that game.
Ah. Well, there we go. Lots and lots of hits.
Oh, they're funny. They just suddenly did a U-turn.
Oh, this AI is something special. Oh, missed. Okay, well I have to reload anyway.
Yeah, replenish and I'll get us closer again.
Sounds good. Flee for your non-lives!
Get us a tighter turn here.
Okay, well... Yeah, that was a bust, but I'm sure I'll get some more hits very soon, so it's not like it's the biggest deal in the world.
They're just like snaking around us for some reason. I don't know what their AI is doing.
Yeah, well... That's okay, this is the Sea of Thieves AI that we know and love to clown on. It looks like they might be starting to see... No, I think just waves were high. Oh! I think I killed a few of those. Oh, just about missed.
There we go. Should be some good shots here.
But yeah, while we're doing that, I have loaded up... Oh, there we go, okay. Well, time to grab my Nintendo Switch while you, my Nintendo Switch 2, while you get the boat in position, because I have been spending most of the day downloading a bunch of great games for when I'm in Africa with Little Man, and potentially like his cousins and such. We shall see who visits, because Bubba has a very large family, and we might not have a lot of time for hosting people, but I'm sure people will want to meet me. Anyway, although her parents are in South Africa, so not this time, but soon. Anyway, I have... What the fuck was...
I have no idea what that was, but I'm dead.
What? Okay, so you know how I threw down the black powder barrel in the water?
Well, no, I didn't know you did that.
Somebody's here! Holy shit!
Oh. Okay, well...
They may have taken it and blew us up!
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
gosh!
that explains that.
It's not like we have a lot, though!
Yeah, not a huge loss. We sold everything. And all
Pretty
the
much.
treasure in the water looked like Smugglers League stuff anyways, so...
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I once again planted the seeds of our own doom. Okay, oh man. Oh.
Long loading screen, which means I think the ship is...
Yeah, so we should have our wrap discussion.
Yeah.
We've just been having disaster after disaster with voyages lately.
At least this one happened after we sold all our treasure.
Oh, but we lost emissary status. Not the biggest deal.
Fine. It's only a dozen.
I don't know why I'm collecting wood from the barrels out of habit, but anyway. Yeah, look, it's not looking great for variety in the AAA gaming industry.
Yeah, but there's plenty of stuff outside of that. Like, I've always preferred a lot of stuff outside of that anyways, so...
Oh, and, yeah.
Me, personally, I don't.
I know what I was going to say. Back to Switch games for the whole family. I have 1-2 Switch, which the only game that shouldn't work is the infrared one with the sandwich eating, which was dumb anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Aquapark.io, which is a cool little water racing game for $5. Arms, Beyond Blue, Breakout Beyond, Clubhouse Games, 51 games worldwide, which I think is going to be what I'm going to try out first on the family because it is touchscreen, and even my, 60, my aunt in her 60s who's never really played video games was able to handle touchscreen checkers, so that could be a nice onboarding thing. And I have a lot of board games ranging from Lego Party, which I just bought, as well as Lego Voyagers.
Yeah, I've heard great things about Lego Party. I do want to try that out at some point.
It's nice to see that Lego is getting more confident and varied in the types of things that they're going to do, and that they're focusing more on a few high-quality releases that still appeal to the whole family, but have production value and still the stylization. Because, I don't know why Borderlands 4 has so many performance problems when the fucking cell shading should help a lot, but, well, GameStop is offering $40 in trade credit through the end of this week to trade it in because they know that people are doing that. So that'll pay for Jurassic World Evolution 3. It's just what are people even doing if they're rushing the end of these games that take 6 years to produce or whatever. Anyway, so things like that. Both the Game Boy emulators should have some good games. Conduct Together, I'll try it with him. We'll see. A lot of these I'm just going across the board in terms of variety and complexity, and we'll see what he gloms onto. Gibbon Beyond the Trees is pretty cool. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah. Have you considered Mario Galaxy? Because that has an interesting co-op kind of thing.
Well, I have the Super Mario 3D All Stars version of 1 installed, so
yeah.
So that could be perfect. I do have that one.
Yeah.
Of course, Sonic Origins. So he can try the original Little Brother mode in Tails. Oh man, little man's gonna have so much fun with that game. I know it. Holio, which is just you move a hole and it eats a city. Yeah, that could be a great way to introduce him to the concept of an analog stick because he's only ever played touchscreen games until now. Jump Rope Challenge could be fun too. Just Dance 2022, the Lego games that I have that I mentioned, as well as Lego City and Recover. I have Mario Golf Super Rush and Mario Tennis Aces, as well as the GameCube emulator for the soccer game. Mario Kart World, of course, Minecraft Dungeons, and the Nintendo Switch edition that was delisted. Mini Golf Adventure, again, Monopoly, things like Pinball FX3 could be fun. I just bought the Portal theme for that. It's neat. You don't have to understand anything about Portal to enjoy the pinball table. That's kind of the whole point. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, that's probably going to be more for me. We'll see about Rayman Legends. I'm just sort of this. I installed literally all of the family-friendly games that I could think of. From Nintendo Switch Sports to the Game of Life 2, to Uno, to the Evercombe Museum. So, and of course, the crown jewel. We shall... If he struggles with Sonic Racing Crossworlds, I'm going to get rid of it, but part of the problem with the prices is they do lock down the families with oh, this has all the characters your kid likes, so you better get it for them for Christmas. And the SpongeBob DLC is not coming out until December, which is disappointing, because I would have really loved to see his face for both Sonic and SpongeBob in the same game. But anyway.
Yeah, the Minecraft one's actually out tomorrow. So
great. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, I don't really know how familiar he is with Minecraft, but I do. Okay. I have played Minecraft with young kids before.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just assumed almost every
I tried
under the age of 10
I tried downloading that to my iPad to the iPad Mini from 2012 that I bought to tie to my account. And unfortunately, it seems like Pocket Edition does not run which I bought back around 2011 or so, does not run very well. A lot of those 32-bit iOS games don't, such as Mirror's Edge HD, which is probably a large part of the reason why they canceled 32-bit support starting with iOS 10. But yeah, it's just Well, he hasn't tried a bunch of these games, and I'm super excited for him to. We shall see. But at least the SpongeBob DLC will roll around well before I go see him again. And then the other problem for the price backlash and stuff is that it's not uniform. It was pretty uniform to the Outer Worlds too, which is why they backtracked super quickly and did $10 refunds. But like part of the problem is, unfortunately, people like us, content creators and reviewers, who, well, maybe a little bit less so for us because there's such a small channel and that things like, and we're not getting sponsored by the Saudi royal family, but still there's some guaranteed level of demand from content creators for literally anything because they know they're going to make 10x their investment on views advertisements alone. For me, apparently, I have to do 3,000 valid public watch hours in a year to be eligible for ads, and have 500 subscribers. So if you like you like the show and want to give us a subscribe, hit the bell for future episodes on your biweekly Voyage for BS3 Gaming News. It's free and really helps us out. Again, I'm blown away by the response to the last episode, and the fact that I got 7 subscribers from just that is amazing. So thank you to everyone. And yeah, well, when's your next availability? In 2 weeks, obviously, because I'll be in Africa.
Yeah, for the show. What date do you leave again?
So I'm there from October 11th to 19th.
Okay.
Well,
So,
I'll be
yeah,
arriving
probably...
in the United States on the
'cause-
19th anyway.
Because the next day I would be free would be Sunday, so that won't work. So I guess, yeah, it'll be... I don't know my availability 2 weeks after that, so I guess... Well, actually, I am going on my Florida trip, remember, right after we get
Right,
back.
yeah.
So it's
Which
gonna
is
be
funny
a few
because
weeks, I think.
the last time I went to eswatini, or well, actually to South Africa, but just to Africa in general, was also when you went to Florida. So
That was
just
my
perfect
last Florida
timing.
trip.
So
Yeah.
just that again.
So,
Just without the Dubai this time, which
yeah,
I'm
it's-
torn about that now, even more so than I was after all this Saudi stuff. Because Dubai is not much
So-
better anyway.
yeah. So I guess it'll be like honestly like late October because I'll be back on the 22nd, and then maybe like I am off the rest of that week. I took the full week off, even though I'm only going to Florida for 3 days. So I'll probably be available if I had to guess like on the 23rd or something like that.
Yeah, that's perfect
So that would-
because
that would probably be the next day.
the 25th is when I have my delayed show of the Hidden Faith, criticizing the Baha'i cult for doing fucking nothing about Israel and Gaza and just sitting on their hands because Israel bought them off with Haifa Gardens and bought their silence basically. But yeah, that's on the 25th is what I'm meaning to say. So I should be wide open by the time I get back, and hopefully with my finger healed so I can play more intense games. Again, we'll see how now that I've invested $100 in extra Switch 2 controllers as well, we'll see how they are freehand with my finger condition. Yeah. Well, in any case,
Awesome.
you have a good one.
Yeah, I will catch you later. Good luck
Catch
on
you
your
later.
trip.
Thank you.